Russia and Belarus may try to destabilize the situation in Poland during parliamentary elections, which President Andrzej Duda has scheduled for October 15th. Moscow and Minsk are holding targeted disinformation attacks, trying to create a false image of Poland as a threat to the Kaliningrad region, said the Government Commissioner for Information Security of Poland, Stanisław Żarin.
For a week now, the Kremlin apparatus of influence has been promoting disinformation, in which it portrays the Soviet aggression against Poland on September 17, 1939, as a liberation campaign of the Red Army investing Belarus and Ukraine against the colonial policy of Warsaw. And the Belarusian propaganda apparatus, with the help of media controlled by diplomatic representative offices of the Republic of Belarus, recently carried out information provocation based on a false claim that a Polish helicopter violated Belarusian airspace.
Moldova also accused the Russian Federation of interfering in the upcoming local elections. According to the country's president Maya Sandu, the coup plan was developed by the founder of PMC Wagner, Prigozhin. According to his plan, anti-government protests, which take place from time to time in Moldova, were bound to develop into violent clashes. This plan failed, but Moscow is not giving up attempts to destabilize the situation. In particular, it uses money to bribe voters in the upcoming local elections in November.
Russia will increase pressure on Moldova. They wanted to use energy, but failed. They tried to overthrow the government, but failed. And now they are resorting to the strongest interference in our elections, using large amounts of money. Maya Sandu, president of Moldova, in an interview with the Financial Times.
Russian money goes, among other things, to finance media outlets that promote theses favorable to the Kremlin. In Slovakia alone, according to the Infosecurity Project, there are more than 300 of these.
The Slovak information space has long been, despite all efforts, the most vulnerable place of Slovak society. There, all these conspiracy theories, fakes, and what we call pro-Russian narratives are not necessarily spread by Russians, although the Russian embassy is very active in Slovakia, but that's just the key problem.
The Russian Federation interfered in the parliamentary elections in Slovakia. The Republic's Ministry of Foreign Affairs called on Russia to stop deliberate disinformation, because such actions, I quote, undermine mutual understanding and contradict the principles of international relations.
The ministry strongly protests against the false statement of Russian intelligence, which calls into question the integrity of free and democratic elections in Slovakia. We consider such deliberately spread disinformation to be unacceptable interference by the Russian Federation in the electoral process in the Slovak Republic, from a statement by the Slovak Foreign Ministry.
Funding pro-Russian political parties and pro-Kremlin media in Europe is Moscow's attempt to influence the level of support for Ukraine from the European Union. The Russian Federation seeks to destabilize the political situation in some EU states and thereby force them to reduce the amount of defense assistance to Ukraine. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Valeria Nekipelova, UATV News.